Well, Donald Trump is on the campaign trail today, hoping to win back the White House in 2024. As the lone announced GOP candidate so far, Trump made his first big move in New Hampshire, holding a rally with supporters today. In flight to South Carolina, he spoke with reporters about Nikki Haley and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis running against him.
So Ron would have not been governor if it wasn't for me, and that's okay. Number one, he wouldn't have gotten the nomination. And number two, he wouldn't have beaten his Democrat opponent. So then when I hear he might run, I consider that very disloyal.
Nikki Haley called me the other day to talk to me and talk to her for a little while. But I said, look, go by your heart if you want to run. She's publicly stated I would never run against her.
Well, correspondent Joe Khalil was in the room for one of today's rallies. Joe, any difference in messaging or tone from Trump today?
A lot of the messaging was sort of the greatest hits. I mean, it was the tone that we are familiar with Donald Trump. But I can tell you what is different was sort of the urgency of this message and the context around it, because he is responding to criticism that this time around his campaign doesn't have the enthusiasm maybe that he had in 2016. And as you just heard off the top, he's starting to answer questions about other candidates that Republicans are really looking at. But I think his messaging today was in part that while there may be some other candidates appealing to Republican voters, he is still the guy that you have to beat. The Trump 2024 campaign now off and running.
When I announced a couple of months ago, the fake news said, why isn't he campaigning? There must be something wrong. I said, it's 2 years before the election. Give me a break. But we have huge rallies planned, bigger than ever before. The rallies are actually bigger than they've ever been.
The former president holding his first public events since announcing his third bid for the White House in what has so far been an unusually quiet campaign for a candidate known for big rallies and animated speeches. President Trump began the day in New Hampshire, taking a shot at some of his potential Republican opponents.
I talked about polls all the time. In 2020, I didn't have to because we didn't have a lot of competition. We had no competition, and I don't think we have competition this time either, to be honest.
Recent polling shows Trump trailing Florida Governor Ron DeSantis among Republican voters in New Hampshire. Trump remains ahead of the field nationwide, though, leading DeSantis by about 16 points in Real Clear Politics' average of polls. The former president wrapped the day with a speech in South Carolina. And Trump says despite narratives that he's lost momentum among Republican voters, he says he's ready for the fight in 2024.
We need a fighter who can stand up to the left, who can stand up to the swamp, stand up to the media, stand up to the deep state. Am I allowed to say stand up to the rhinos, too? I think I can say that.
The former president slammed the Biden administration for its handling of the border, the military, and Ukraine, and repeated old grievances about the 2020 election. And while his supporters say they're fully behind Trump,
there's going to be quite a few people running.
Many do acknowledge other Republicans like Nikki Haley, Mike Pompeo, or Ron DeSantis may pull support away from Trump.
We are with him 100%, but there is some hesitation.
And Natasha, this was not the stadium-wide raucous crowd that we sometimes associate with Trump events. It was a much smaller one per his campaign, intentionally so, here in the state capital of South Carolina behind us. And it was a way, you talked about messaging and tone. They were a bit different when it comes to attack ads, things like that, attack lines, excuse me, that it almost seems like he's perfecting or working on that he can take forward with him now as the campaign really gets going in earnest. He can take that message on the road.
Interesting. Joe Khalil live for us in South Carolina. Appreciate that report. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.